Thank you all for tuning in. The following is a presentation of Bald Spots Productions. Be sure to like, comment, and share. Subscribe, follow, whatever it is you've got to do to kick that algorithm into gear and help us reach more people.
Yes, it is I, your humble host, Bill Hatch III, coming to you live from the Flash Love Studios of Bald Spots Productions here in the beautiful city of Malden, Missouri. Joining me from the greater metropolitan Buffalo area is my guest for today at a more than acceptable safe social distance, Irene, wait a minute, I'm going to butcher it, Gabelnick?
Perfect. Gable. You say
Gable.
potato, I say potato. Gable.
Okay. Well, it's great to have you on the show. Irene is I guess we could say, an expert in getting people on podcasts and making the most out of those appearances. So this should be a really great show. So usually the way I start, aside from asking you how you're doing, is my first question is always, what are you reading?
Well, I just started reading two of my favorite books again.
Okay.
And I'm one of those people, I'm always reading 5 books at the same time. But I like reading my favorite books over and over again. So I just started reading Think and Grow Rich again for
a classic.
The third time.
Yeah,
it is. And so that's been my favorite of the week. I did just download the audiobook for Matthew McConaughey's Greenlight.
Okay.
It's way more graphic than I expected. Sorry, Matthew, but I'm not giving up on it. And I just started reading again yesterday one of my favorite classic books, The Boron Letters by Gary Halbert. So,
Okay,
yeah,
I'm not familiar with that one.
3 books.
That's
Really?
only 3 books. Yeah, I am unfamiliar. Let me write that down.
It's a great one. You will have to get this book.
What's it called again?
And you'll have to get it. I have a great story about it as well. So this should be a lot of fun.
Okay. What's the name of the book again?
It's called The Boron Letters, Boron Letters by Gary Halbert, Halbert. You're obviously not a marketing geek like I am, because I read marketing books for fun. But I actually have an original paperback version of that book that I got from his son Bond Halbert, actually. So pretty darn cool.
I actually double majored in management and marketing, but marketing was kind of the back burner thing. I didn't find it as interesting as I found leadership. And
I didn't find it as interesting when I was in school, but when I started taking writing courses from, actually, I'm a verified direct response copywriter through the prestigious AWAI, American Writers and Artists Institute. And they're so good. I mean, these marketers are so good with their copy. I get sucked in. And Gary's just such a great writer. And it's really interesting because he wrote the Boron Letters while he was wrongly convicted for a crime he did not commit, a white collar crime. I guess his business partners kind of threw him under the bus. And it was a low security penitentiary called Boron Prison. And he decided, he'd been meaning to write a book, and he decided to write this book for his son Bond, who was 17 at the time, while he was in prison, giving him the best life and marketing tips of his life. So, and then he put it into a book, and now Bond owns the rights to the book. He rewrote it, shares marketing tips, and explains what the marketing tips are inside the letter. He actually dissects it, each chapter, which is really cool. And I have a copy of that one too, but I don't know where it is, unfortunately. I have to buy another one. But those notes that Bond puts in are really super helpful too. And I just looked the other day, it's still like the #1 business book. And Gary Halbert is reputed to be like the best direct response marketer of all time.
Okay.
So one of his letters, it was about a name crest or something. One of his direct response letters, like literally millions and millions of them sent out over the years. It's pretty exciting. So yeah, definitely a great read for any business owner or entrepreneur or anyone who wants to start a business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because unfortunately, you have to know how to market your business if you expect anybody to come into it. So
you
you can.
do. And the principles and fundamentals inside that book, I mean, they pertain primarily to direct response, direct mail, but all of those same principles can be applied to anything, email marketing, content marketing. And so they're really all the basic principles. So it's pretty cool.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to catch up on it because I'm actually working on an AI-powered business systems automation service, and one of the big things is the AI is supposed to help you set appointments, which I'm working on training it right now, and it doesn't want to learn.
That's
Yeah,
not good.
It asks the right questions, but it keeps asking them over and over again. So it's still obviously not human. But
yeah, you have to play around. You have to use the right prompts. It's a learning curve, like everything is. But at least you're getting in the beginning, in the early stages, as am I. So I've been having a lot of fun with AI myself.
Oh yeah, I've been playing around with that ChatGPT thing, and it can be really funny at times. I have gotten it to help me prepare notes for shows that I've done in the past. I may work that again here in the future because it knows a lot.
It does. It does.
But yeah,
it
it's not a replacement for human beings, but it can certainly be a tool to help people out a lot. But
for research and just ideas,
Oh yeah,
it really is.
I've also used it to help me clarify, make my writing easier to read. Get my thoughts a little more organized. I tend to be the kind that reaches into the grab bag and pulls out the next thought, and so it can be a little. So
then, do you like type it in or copy and paste it in and ask it to rewrite it in a more clear and concise form?
Yeah, that's basically. Sometimes I'll ask it to write in a style similar to, and then I'll put in somebody else's name on it. It's like, hey, this is how I want this to sound, and so. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that with Gary Halbert even, and wow, it was a little bit too much though because he was such a great direct response marketer, and sometimes now with content marketing, you don't want to feel like you're shouting at your audience. You want to draw them into the conversation, and so you have to be careful too.
Yeah, you don't want to speak in somebody else's voice too strongly.
Right. And the other thing too is I was writing an article and I asked for resources, so I didn't have to go find them myself, and it gave me a list of books that don't exist.
Wow,
it literally gave me book titles and author names, and when I tried to find them, these books were never written. And I'm like, oh, so you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
what?
That's definitely going to trip some people up.
Right? I like telling people that, because just be careful. Like if you don't double check to make sure that resource exists, and you put that out
Mhm.
there, like you'll not, your credibility is not going to look so
Yeah,
good, you
yeah,
know?
that is definitely going to hurt you. Um,
And then what are you going
let's
to
see.
do? Confess that it was ChatGPT? Like, that wasn't me. ChatGPT
Yeah,
made that
yeah,
mistake. I didn't write this article.
yeah. Oh, what's the name of there's oh, what is it? Like a blog community that I was looking into, and they specifically state that you have to confess up front if you use an AI to help you write.
Mm.
And
You don't know which one that is? It's not Substack, is
I
it?
can find it. No.
Hmm. I'm always looking
Let's
for
see.
new like communities to publish and what's hot right now. I think like Medium seems to be fading out a little bit. LinkedIn newsletters are really hot right now. I
Mhm.
don't know what I'm waiting for hmm, promoting
Oh,
mine, but
found
Substack
it.
is really hot
It's
right now.
Medium.
Oh, it is Medium.
Yeah, it is Medium. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so one of the top writers on Medium that I follow, he just left Medium. I don't know. I guess he's doing better on Substack and LinkedIn, but you
Hmm.
can get syndicated from Medium. So
Yeah.
oh, that's interesting to know. I haven't published on Medium in years. My bad. I used to, and I keep saying I'm going to start doing it again. And but
Hmm.
the thing I love about Medium is that it doesn't have to be exclusively published on Medium. So
Right.
you can publish it on your own blog. You can publish it on any other publication you want and publish it on
Yeah.
Medium. But I did not know that you have to disclose that now. That's good. I think that's
Yeah,
good, don't you?
that was the last thing. Yeah, it is. It's like, because
Hmm.
I mean, just like when you're writing, if you quote somebody, you need to cite them properly. I mean, it's the same kind of
Yeah.
idea, I think.
Yeah.
That it's like, hey, I use this material to write what I wrote, and this is where I got it from. I
Yeah.
just started back to grad school, and so I'm getting back into the swing of things with making sure I cite everybody properly and
Mhm. Good for you.
and
You
all
know,
that.
my
Yeah.
my daughter is actually she's uh, at college. She's going into her second year of college at Princeton, and I know, sorry, mommy boasting. I can't help but slip that in. I'm so proud.
That's okay.
She she's getting a minor in journalism,
Oh,
and
nice.
she yeah, but they're very clear that if you use any AI to write your papers,
Hmm.
you will be expelled from the school.
Wow.
So, and then I saw an article how to get away with using AI for your school papers. It's like, they're trying to find a way around everything. And Hannah's just like, it is not worth it. No way, no how. And she's a great writer, so she doesn't need it. Good grief.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you get into the writing mode, it's it's not that hard really to get words out. And I
Right. When you're
use
in flow.
the school I'm going to allows us to use Grammarly to help
Oh,
with
that's cool.
our writing. So yeah, they pay for the subscription and all that. So which is a good little
Cool.
bonus for the money. Um, but
Oh, that's
speaking
so
of
funny.
writing,
I just, oh, sorry.
that's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, no, you mentioned Grammarly, and it's funny because I was closing a bunch of Word docs this morning, and I started writing an article called "When Grammarly's Not Your Friend," because I was pissed off at Grammarly that morning. Because when you're a copywriter, we
Hmm.
purposely misspell words. We purposely make grammatical errors because we're writing how you talk. And
Hmm.
so that's when Grammarly's like, stop telling me that's wrong. Just ignore it. It's intentional. I did that purposely. I know what I'm doing.
Hmm.
Stop yelling at me. you know?
Yeah, yeah. But speaking of writing, You have a two-time international. You are a two-time international best-selling author, and I'm interested in this podcast power book that you wrote.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
I've written a lot of books. I'm
okay.
sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's a fun story how I became a two times international best-selling author. That was actually with a book collaboration called The Power of Why. It's a big book
Okay.
series, and it was already an international best-selling book when I was invited to participate. It wasn't a pay-to-play. I was invited based on my writing skills, and I got accepted. My chapters got accepted. And
Great.
I can't remember if it was the first or the second book, but and such a wonderful group of lovely women entrepreneurs that were, great. It was such a great bonding event. And we became, within 4 days, we became number one in 4 countries, 3 and then 4. It was like the UK, US, India, and Canada. And one of the, I can't remember which one, but Jeff Bezos published his memoir the same week that
Okay.
our book came out. And so when we ranked number 1 on Amazon and Jeff Bezos was number 2, we screenshot it and we had so much fun blasting how our book beat Jeff Bezos' book on his own platform.
That's
That was
funny.
a lot of fun. We were like, look, and we were just like, we're all tagging each other, on social media, and it really helped. It was a lot of fun, but it helped us all get a lot of visibility for our businesses too. So it was cool. And then I wrote Podcast Power. So that's my best-selling ebook. And when I say best-selling, it's the book I've sold the most copies of. So not to mislead you there, I have not published it. I probably won't. It's more of, I might expand upon it on a book that I published, but it's really more of a it's an ebook. So it's more of a course in the form of a book.
Okay.
So, like, I give you templates, there's no fluff. It's only 17 pages. You have to be 25 to publish on Amazon. So I'd have to just fluff it up, share some stories, case studies, But like I said, it's really more of a course. And so it's low ticket, $27, but it's and I am planning, people keep asking me, is it an audio? Is it a course? And so I am planning to turn it into a full-blown course and expand upon it. But people are getting results with just that book. And people get featured really, really fast. So one of my clients, I share my story about how I was getting interviewed on anywhere from 3 to 5 podcasts a week, how I became a health and fitness expert on a radio show. Really exciting. When I first started my blog, I had this little health and fitness blog, and I was transitioning out of real estate. I was a successful realtor for 9 years, and I just wanted to do something more. I wanted to become a writer. I wanted to start speaking on stages. I wanted to get my message out in the world. And I just felt like I wanted to make more of an impact, And how I wrote Podcast Power was it all started with an email. I was at a mastermind in LA, and the Freedom Mastermind, it was called. And I was in this room with all these amazing entrepreneurs, and I had such imposter syndrome because I just had my little health and fitness blog, and like these people had brick and mortar gyms and like businesses, we were just all walks of life, real estate brokers, health and fitness doctors, all kinds of cool people. And we went around the room and we all shared a superpower that we had, something that we could help others with in the room. And at the time, I was getting featured on podcasts like every week. It was like my superpower. I just knew how to do it really, really fast and how to get booked. And so there was a handful of people who were like, oh, yeah, I got to start doing that. So I got their email addresses and I just sent them my system in an email. And they were like, oh my God, this is great, Irene, your little notes on how to craft an idea segment for the show. And they loved it. But it wasn't until COVID, actually, that I finally turned it into a book and sold it. And I was just sitting there thinking, okay, what do I have right now that I will be easy to create and just start helping people right now.
Mm-hmm.
It took me literally, I took that email. It took me literally 2 hours to write that book. And I just
Wow.
started giving it to people, all of my friends. I was working on the sales page, you know, and then they were getting results. Then my friend Sherry Marquez, she's the dog mystic, a dog trainer. She started getting booked on shows. She was getting clients for her high ticket dog training program, her boot camp, and I had testimonials. And she's like, "Oh my God, Irene, it's working. My email was growing. She was her calendar was booked. It was, and so she did a video testimonial. Boom, right on the sales page. Just started getting testimonials, and then I just started selling it, and it still works.
Wow.
Right now my clients are getting tremendous results. One of
That's
my
awesome.
clients, his name is Don Thornton. Yeah, it is awesome. It's so awesome. It's like people are telling me, why are you selling this for $27? Like the value of this book is like hundreds at least. So I keep saying, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to turn it into a course, but I'm just trying to help as many people as I can, but yeah, my client, Don, he got booked on 3 shows in 10 days. He sells trusts, and he sold 3
Okay.
trusts just from those interviews. He called me a
Wow.
genius, super, super sweet. And he was so excited. And then it's like a snowball effect. And I kept seeing him on Instagram, like more interviews and bigger and better interviews. And and then he messaged me and said, Irene, I just had my first 40K month with his business. And then
Wow.
I messaged him a couple months ago, back in May, I think, and he said, Irene, I more than doubled that. He's crushing 100K months every single month now. That's the
Nice.
power of the media.
It
Like,
is.
seriously, right?
It is. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And people can find the book on your website?
Yeah, if they just go to my website, I think the menu, it says how to get free media publicity, because I
Yeah,
basically teach you how to get it for free, how to get
right.
booked on
So
podcasts and radio shows. Yeah, so
IreneGabelnick.com, how to get free
IreneGabelnick.com.
media publicity.
Yep. Or you could go to IreneGabelnick.com/podcast power.
Okay.
Is another way to get it too. Super simple.
I'll put the link in
Yeah,
the
come to my
description.
clubhouse rooms. I'm always talking about them.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool. Well, thank you. Thank you for
No
that.
problem. I want
Awesome
it to be
stuff.
easy for people to find you.
Hey, Bill,
Yeah.
I didn't ask you, or you didn't share, what book are you reading right now?
I am reading, well, it's a school book. It is called
Oh,
The Mission of God. So
wow. Now,
the
what is
degree,
your
my degree field is a Master of Divinity in a subject called Marketplace Ministry, where the idea is
Wow.
that I take what I have to offer out to the marketplace, to the business world. My ultimate
Wow.
plan is to teach ethical leadership, primarily through masterminds, and and help people be more positive leaders and out there in the world.
Very cool. Wow, that's exciting.
So yeah.
When are you projected to graduate?
Maybe 2025. I'm only doing 2
Not
classes at
too
a
far.
time. It's and the way I'm doing it, it's like 20 hours a
A
week.
lot.
And on top of everything else,
Yeah,
that's
so
a
you don't have
lot.
time to read anything fun. Yeah, you
Not
don't have
really,
time
no.
in school.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, and I'm trying to
My
write
degrees
a
are
couple
both in
things.
business marketing. Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, my undergrad is business administration, marketing, and management, and that was where I found that I really loved leadership, helping people become better leaders, actually leading teams to successful outcomes, It just opened
Cool.
my mind up to a whole new world. Because before that, I was
Awesome.
a would-be engineer. I'd studied automotive technology and mechanical engineering, and dropped it all when I got to calculus. So my sister
I hear you there.
does, yeah. Statistics is as far as I can get. I had some fun with statistics, which is why I'm an armchair. And
Nice. Yeah.
it's just just really interesting how things can go when you look at it from a certain standpoint.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But
My
yeah,
sister was in a chemical engineering program,
okay.
and she hated it. And she said, "Gosh, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life." She ended up switching to geology, and then don't you know, she got a job as an engineer. She had already had a degree
Hmm.
in engineering, and then she
Okay.
had transferred into the chemical engineering program. And then she says, "I hate it." And then she ends up becoming an engineer. But yeah, it's funny though, because after she passed away, I discovered that she had wanted to be a writer, and I had no
Wow.
idea. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting story, because when people ask me, why did you become a writer? It's such a big part of my why, because I was
Hmm.
going through boxes and boxes of her books, and what I found was not one, not two, but more than 10 books on how to be a
Wow.
writer, how to write a book, how to get paid to write, how to be a speaker. And I didn't even know she wanted to write a book. And
Wow.
that day, I went home and I just typed into the computer how to become a writer. And I took my first course with AWAI. That was the time it was called the Six-Figure Accelerated Copywriting course.
Hmm.
Now it's called the Seven-Figure course. It's been recently updated. I'm going through that again too. So always honing in my skills, right?
Hmm. Yeah, you really always have to. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. You know.
You do.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, but yeah, being able to express yourself is definitely an important skill. Um, that needs to be developed. I know I have to work on it. Uh, I started writing a book, just a short thing on starting a podcast. Um, probably won't be any longer than your book on getting interviewed on podcasts. So,
Mm,
but
very cool.
yeah, and then I want to turn my podcasts into blogs, and then put them together into a single book. That can that way it becomes a little more searchable, and it'll help promote the guests who have been on my shows a little bit
Oh,
better.
very cool.
Yeah.
Repurpose your content.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Repurpose the content. It's already been written. It's just not typed out yet.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Did you
oh
voice record it?
yeah, all of the
Mm.
well the podcasts are all recorded. I haven't assembled them
Oh,
into anything yet. I'm so busy working on everything else. I've barely touched the podcasting book. Um,
have you heard of the app called
Rev?
Rev, Rev, Rev? Very, very popular for transcribing uh,
Hmm.
audio into writing, and very affordable from what I hear. I haven't used it personally. I've tested the app where I've recorded in, but I haven't had anything transcribed yet. But I know a lot of people that use it, including New York Times bestselling author Dean Graziosi uses it
Okay.
to write all his books, and
Okay.
it's very well reputed to do,
Yeah.
timely fashion, and very affordable, you know.
I have used Fireflies before for
Okay,
transcribing.
gotcha.
And they've worked pretty well. And they're pretty
Cool,
cheap too. But
cool,
but yeah,
cool.
I'm always looking for better. It's like try to find
Yeah.
somebody else, somebody who's better at it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Exactly.
I was going to ask, with all the material you found of your sisters, are you planning on publishing her books?
She hasn't written any. Like I didn't find anything that she had written. It's just a
Oh,
bunch of books.
it was books that
Yeah,
she
no, they
had
were
on.
books
Oh, okay. I
she
thought she was
owned.
writing on that. Okay.
No, she
Oh,
had never, as far as I know, I never found one. I don't know if her
wow.
husband did or not. If he ever found one where she had started, I don't think she ever even started writing a book.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't know. I
That's
never found her any journals or
that's too
anything. I don't
bad.
know. Yeah, but no,
Wow.
I am. I dedicated my first book to her.
That's
Of
nice.
course, and because she's a big part of the reason that I wrote it. And the
Mhm.
other reason too was that my first book was a weight loss book because I had my little health and fitness blog,
In
and
case you
I knew
can't
I
tell,
had a
I could
system that
use that.
worked. Well, it's called Zipping It Up, How to Lose 5 Pounds Fast and Look Great in That Little Black Dress. I don't know how, but
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd look great in a little black dress.
probably not my target audience, but people have lost weight. I gave it to one of my friends and she dropped 2 dress sizes in 6 weeks. She was so
Wow.
excited. I've got some great reviews on Amazon, but then I totally shifted gears and I started helping people write books because more people were interested in how to write a book than they
Mhm.
were in my weight loss plan. So I kind of shifted. And I'm not going to lie, that mastermind really, I had a lot of imposter syndrome with all
Mhm.
of these other health and fitness people around. And I just kind of started shifting away from the health
Mhm.
space and some other reasons too. But then I created this free checklist, 10 easy steps to start writing your book today. And I've helped some people finish their book. So that's pretty cool.
It's great.
And it's also one of the easiest ways to get featured on podcasts, right? You
Mhm.
guys love authors, don't
Oh
you?
yeah, absolutely.
So,
And even people who
so
don't
it's
promote
kind of a,
themselves as authors turn out to have books they've written. It's like everybody's got a book. It
right?
seems like sometimes.
Yes, I know, I know. It's funny though, because statistically, everyone doesn't, but it's just kind of the people
Yeah.
we surround ourselves with, right? Because we have that in common and you attract, and, but, statistically, 99% of people who want, out of the 99% of people who say they want to write a book,
Mhm.
only 1% actually does it.
Right.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, there's, over 8 billion people on the planet now. But um, yeah, so there really is something to be said about finishing that and
Mhm.
that accomplishment of taking it to fruition. Right
Yeah.
now, I'm working with a traditional publishing coach. I don't
Oh.
claim to know it all. I don't know. I self-published my first book. I sell
Mhm.
podcast power exclusively on my website. No desire to publish that at the moment. Um, but there are certain books that I can envision on the Oprah's, book list, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe even, Reese Witherspoon's book club, right? Because I write in lots of different genres under different
Mhm.
pen names. And so we're working on a book proposal right now to, she knows how to land a book deal with a cash advance type of with one of
Wow.
the top with the top publishers. So I'm working with
Mhm.
her right now to send those out and we'll see what happens, you
That's
know?
incredible. That would be so awesome. And then I'll have you on time and
Right?
time
I
again
know.
after you get published. After each time you get published.
Exactly. I it took it was a very hard decision for me to decide which book I wanted to start pitching first.
Hmm.
And um pretty much making up excuses, a little bit of fear getting in the way, right? And
Yeah.
it came full circle because the first one that I thought about, I said, oh no, I'm not going to do this. And I made all these excuses and I said no. And then our group met last week and we were all talking about, okay, let's pick our book, let's get this done. And everyone agreed and I came right back to that first book. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going all in on this. So we shall see.
Great.
Exciting. And
Awesome.
It's something that you
Fingers
might
crossed.
be interested. I don't want to mention it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. But it might be a good fit for what you're doing too. I'll share that with you when it's, when it becomes real.
Okay.
But I think we might be able to tie into something that I'm working on with what you do.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know. Kind of cool. It's not a business book, so a little spoiler there. It is based on true stories, but it's cool. Not. It's a nonfiction, but it's not a business book.
Right.
So
that's
cool. Fun to work on.
Yeah, sounds like it. So I know you've got to get going because you got a 1 o'clock. Did I get that right? Or I'm sorry, not 1 o'clock because it's 2 o'clock for you. Yeah, I'm in Central Time. So you've got a 2 o'clock.
Yes.
So I don't want to eat up all your time between meetings, but everybody should check out the website Irene Gabelnick, .com. The link will be in the description, and that's where you can find her book Podcast Power and all sorts of great and wonderful things. So remember, it's important to write down your thoughts. Leave. Oh, that's what I was going to say. It's there. Writing and doing podcasts too. Creating a podcast can be a great way to leave the memories behind of who you were and who you are, your thoughts and words. The other podcasts I do right now during the week, well, we're on a hiatus right now, but I do with my father. And, one day he's not going to be where he is right now. And but I'll always have those recordings to be able to look back on. So, it's very similar with writing, a legacy. And so definitely can understand the importance of getting your thoughts written down, and
and there's my free guide right on my website too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
absolutely, Bill. You're so spot on. And don't forget the free guide is on there too.
Yep. So go check out IreneGabelnick.com and find out all sorts of great stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you all for tuning in. Remember to be safe out there, wash your hands, and stay tuned for the ending credits.
Thank you all for tuning in. This has been a presentation of Bald Spots Productions. I'd like to thank our producer, my beloved mother, Eileen Hatch.
I, of course, am your humble host.
I'd like to thank my special guest for today, Irene Gabelnick.
Support the show if you feel so led over on patreon.com. We're known as Bald Spots Pro. Don't you dare miss YWL Online. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever fine podcasts are offered.
Be sure to tune in next time when my special guest will be Allison Shane. Be sure to like, comment, and share. Subscribe, follow, whatever it is you've got to do to kick that algorithm into gear and help us reach more people.
If you or someone you know needs support now, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. That is the suicide and crisis lifeline here in the United States.